Welcome, welcome, welcome to the March 16, 2012 edition of the Big Pauly Show. This little 10 minutes of terror that I do twice a week, or try to do twice a week. And if you don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am Paul Blom here in Pinellas Park, Florida. That is P-A-U-L-B-L-O-M. I know I have this funny little name like Nora Rom of NPR, but just thought I would spell it out for you one of these times. And hope everybody is going to enjoy the St. Patty's Day weekend. Now, you would think with the last name of Blom that I would be the farthest thing from Irish, but no. I am Irish, at least 3/4 Irish. My mother's maiden name was McGinn, and my mom on my dad's side is Irish, who passed away before I was even born, so, or if not before I was born, very, very young in my life. I don't think I ever met her. And my father died in 1991, so it is, I'm 3/4 Irish. I have to start on such a glum note. Anyway, did you see that, you might notice that as I record this, we're watching a whole bunch of college basketball games because yesterday was Thursday and we had the starting in earnest of the March Madness NCAA basketball tournament. Oh my God, talk about an abortion. That game between North Carolina, Asheville, and Syracuse, it was a 16 seed against a 1 seed, and we have never had in college basketball history, at least since the field went to 64 teams, as I grab my water, 64 teams in 1985, we have never had a 16 seed beat a 1 seed. And the officials in that game, one of which, by the way, was a Big East official. Now, why the hell in college basketball, in college football, if there are games between two conferences, say Alabama's playing Texas, they always get a officiating crew from a neutral conference, like, say, the Big East or Conference USA. Why the hell do you have a Big East official working a game involving a Big East team? Could somebody answer that for me, please? No. Pardon me as I jug a little water. Last time I did one of these 10 minutes of terror, as I like to call it, my throat got dry and it was leading to me into some verbal errors, which I would make anyway, but if you saw that Asheville-Syracuse game, or if you didn't see that game on the 15th of March yesterday, get a tape of it, because there were just some colossal bad calls in that game. There was a point in the game, forget the lane violation call that happened with about 2 minutes to go against Asheville, where they called the lane violation even before the Syracuse player shot a free throw, the ball leaving his hands, and they called it a lane violation, which may or may not be right under college rules, but it was 66-63 Syracuse late in the game, about 30 seconds left. The ball clearly does not touch a UNC Asheville player, but the Syracuse player was the last to touch it, and they rule it Syracuse's ball, which was just bizarre, to say the least. And I cannot see the preview monitor here, so I'm going to have to stop here for a moment.
Well, that was interesting. I'm going to probably have to do a little nifty editing on this, but what happened was this. As I record this onto my hard drive, I have a preview monitor which I kind of look at, and that's why if I'm not looking directly into the camera, that's what I'm looking at, is this preview monitor on my computer screen. In fact, one of these days I have Manycam on my computer, but I never mess around with it. I'm just going to have to do it that way one of these days and show you how things works behind the scenes. How things work behind the scenes. There I go, stuttering like a fool again. So anyway, where were we? I wasn't going to just talk about that new Asheville-Syracuse game, although it's funny that the computer just decides to freeze when I'm talking about this. Maybe they're part of the Illuminati. Oh, God forbid. So anyway, what else is going on in the world? He wonders. He puts Chrome on. Oh, this Leon Panetta guy, what a piece of work he is. He went to Afghanistan, and because of the shooting that just took place last weekend
first they said the guy who did the shooting had brain damage. Now they're saying, oh, he just went on he'd just been drinking. He wasn't thrilled about going on another deployment. Cost of living is soaring. Amazing. But Panetta has this speech in Afghanistan, and they require the soldiers to attend it not to bring their guns and their weapons. And if you know anything about the military, you know, they don't take a crap without grabbing their gun and taking that with them. Just absolutely amazing that this is going on. Maybe, you know, Panetta was afraid of being arrested because maybe they know that the troops have smartened up, that they are under the auspices of the United Nations and not the United States, after that brilliant speech he gave last week where he just basically told Congress that. And just amazing, folks. It's just amazing what's going on. And you better know your laws, misters, because you sure don't. Where did I get that from? Because whenever you have people that are not paying attention to what's going on and around them, you have situations where tyranny prospers on the local level, on the state level, and on the national level. Speaking of the state level, you know that on this YouTube page of mine, this thing of ours, that I rail against telemarketers sometimes. But as I have told you, I am a telemarketer myself and have been. I kind of know the ins and the outs, so I can argue for it and I can argue against it. And there was an article in the St. Pete Times where the state of Florida cracked down on these telemarketing companies, most chiefly United Marketing Solutions, which was a place I was about to apply to, up on 66th Street in Largo. For those of you in the area, 66th Street and Alderton Road, that area, that's where it was. And then all of a sudden they moved to Tarpon Springs, I guess, so they could do the same thing over to another part of the county and hire people and not let them know that, oh, you need a telemarketing license to do business. And, but here's my argument. First off, the company should be insured. I mean, not be insured, but should be licensed. The telemarketing company should be licensed, and they should make the employers licensed for their own protection, because now the state of Florida is going after them. When all this began in 2005, when I first heard the words telemarketing license, I thought it was a big joke. I thought, it was Santasia who I applied to back then. And you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Telemarketing licenses? I've never heard of that. And Santasia is another big scam where they prey on the, not only do they prey on their customers, but they prey on the employees. And that's another trick of the trade in telemarketing, is that you have a lot of these companies that just try to cheat the employees out of every sale they can make. So one of these days I'm going to get back into it again, and I'm going to write a story about it. And I don't give a shit what the companies say, because if I get fired, then I can always go somewhere else. But the point I'm trying to make, I'm going to try to make it real fast, because I'm up to 10.5 minutes. I'm going to go to 12 minutes because we had that little crazy shit that happened in the middle of the entry today with the computer freezing up. The state is going after these telemarketing companies, not because they are not following the do not call list or agitating people. No, it's because they are going after them over licensing. The state is engaging in legalized extortion, and if it wasn't doing so, why would it be under the state of agriculture? The Division of Agriculture, I beg your pardon. Now they call it the Division of Agriculture and Consumer Services, but I mean, what does agriculture have to do with telemarketing? And this is as I said in my Slice of Big Pauly entry yesterday, that there are a lot of villains here and there are no heroes. The workers are getting shafted by the fact that the companies that are employing them are not looking out for their best interests, and in turn these companies are having to make a decision whether to play prison bitch and get licensed by the state of Florida, or have to take their chances and just hope that they don't get raided anytime in the near future. So maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to go work for one of these telemarketing companies and write a blog about it. And like I said, if they catch me and if they fire me over, I don't really care, because I'll just go to another place, and so forth and so forth and so on. There's that old hair commercial. I think it was Alberto VO5 or something like that. Used to go, well, we'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so forth and so forth and so on. You can tell I get a little tongue-tied every once in a while. So I guess this is a good place to stop. This has been today's Big Pauly video blog entry. The Big Pauly Show for the 16th of March 2012, such as it was, and I apologize for the how discontorted and disjointed this all was, but it's live. I do it live. I try not to do it scripted, and this is the way it's going to come out, and I'm only going to get better at it as time goes along. Just the way it is. I am Paul Blom here in Pinellas Park, Florida. You already knew that. Have a good St. Patty's Day weekend. I will catch you again real soon. Bye-bye for now. Pray for me. I'm about to edit all this.